Good morning. My name is Nicholas Ogbona. We are presenting a design of a popular stationery brand. Going to the project introduction, we explained about the brand as support. From the brand as support, as it is located inside school, serving students and artists. And then we move into our research findings, where we researched about the office space, the layout and the equipment in the office, the sitting position, then the conference room, the size of the tables and then the receptionist areas. Then to the case study, our first case study is from South Korea. In this first case study, in the case study, what we got from our case study is mostly the proportion of the spaces and the arrangement of the working materials and equipment inside the spaces. Second case study is from Brazil. Same thing with the proportion and the layout and the position of the equipment. Then to our site analysis, it's located inside school opposite law faculty.
Coming to the concept development, the concept we looked at is brand inclusion. So we try to include the brand design and the description of the brand and their mission and the objectives, what they stand for in the design. And that's how we came about the concept brand inclusion. Now, in the form, we just broke out a little in the center of the block to get this form to be able to achieve a proper zoning between the staff areas and the customer areas on the site plan. Now, if you look properly at this place, you will find out that the green area has about 1,872 meters square, and the paved area has 1,927 meters square, and while the building has 365 meters square. Now, we try to design the site in a way that it has an ample green area to ensure that we have sustainability in mind. Now, we also designed the site plan having 12 staff parking lots and 24 parking lots for the customers, making it a total of 36 parking lots. And we also considered a gazebo sitting area where people can also sit and receive fresh air. Now, coming to the floor plans. On the ground floor, by the left, we have the production area. The reason being why we put it on the ground floor and on that side is so that we can achieve that zoning. And also, there are heavy machines on this ground floor, on this production area. So machines for printing, very heavy machine for mass printing. So it's not advisable to put it on the first floor because of vibrations and all that. That's why we positioned it at the ground floor. And we also zoned that ground floor into two areas, one for the staff, reserved for the staff, and one for the customers. That's the customer side is for the right, where you have the sales area. On the first floor, we also have the open design studio where people can actually design and draft. Maybe you have a graphic design job to do where you can stay and do. There you also have a drafting table where you can sketch and do things like that. And on this design studio, that's where they design things that they use for their customization of their materials and all that. Then by the right, we have the training room where they train their new staff, or if students enroll with their company to learn, so they can use the training room to train them, while we have their locker rooms at the back on the left side. Next slide, please. Now, on the second floor, here we have is mostly the administrative area, where we have the manager's office. Then the sub managers are also on this level, and also the conference room is also situated on this level. While we also have the accounts office and the control office. So this floor is just basically for administration and controlling of running of the whole office. Then by the right, we have the roof plan. We use a flat roof. And next slide. Now, these are the elevations. These are the design solutions we came up with in the elevations. We try to use the colors to represent the brand and what they stand for in the facade treatment. Next slide. And the sections to show the functionality of the building. Now, this is the 3D render showing the perspective views of the and the interior perspective of the sales area. On the animation, we try to show how the building functions from the inside to the outside, and showing an overview of the site to also portray.
Okay. Good day, sir. I am Isaac Ndansu, and I and my group worked on the project, a memorial museum located in Enugu, Nigeria. So for this project, we decided to name the museum Echoes of the Past, which is a metaphor that signifies that the events, the people, and all the activities that happened in the past still resonate with us currently in the present, as an echo lingers away even though the original voice fades. For the table of contents, we have where you meet the team, where we tell you about our design objectives, our site analysis, the concepts, floor plans, elevation, and perspective views. These are the members of my team. For our site analysis, we picked a site in Enugu, which the coordinates are stated below, and then it's at Aguleri Road in Enugu. And then we did our site analysis where we considered the trade winds and the southwest monsoon winds too, and then the sunrise and the sunset.
No, my name is Irene Zeoluchi Susan, and I'm here to talk on the concept, the floor plan, the site plan. The concept of the whole design is this: Memorial Museum, things connecting to previous events that have happened in the country. Each event comes with a music or something to use to remember the past event, which I decided to use a drum. Now, using the drum, we made use of the form and exploration of the mass in a secular. We took a secular form, first of all, then breaking off to the further development, which you see there is representing the beats of a drum, which forms either forms a regular pattern or is irregular. Then placing the circle at the center represents a courtyard, which was imputed into the design to make it ventilated and for lighting. And then the half court at the end of it is also used for proper circulation of the building. This is the site plan where we make sure that the car parks are adjacent to the entrance of the buildings, and we also made other access like pedestrian access, and then the another access for staff areas at the back where they can access the building through the back. So this is the floor plan of the building, where the main entrance, having a celebrating entrance, leads to the reception area. By the left of it is the exhibition, by the right is the auditorium created with the shops and then the restaurants at the back. Then the made use of a center staircase, a spiral staircase, which faces the reception area, and the other staircase at the back, as well as the emergency staircase. On the upper floor, we have the memorial reflection space at the top, the gallery at the right, and then a cinema at the other side. At the back, we made it for staffs, and then there are several shops and other activities that goes on there. Interior perspective view of the courtyard, and then the east and the west and other elevations of the buildings, as well as the perspective view of each of the buildings.
Okemefla Ebu Chizroke, and this is a proposed cathedral, which is also known as Our Lord's Cathedral. We embraced a style of architecture known as the Baroque style of architecture, which is known to be extravagant in the ornamentation and decoration of such design. We will meet existing buildings in this design as we proceed in this presentation. The objective of this design now is to achieve functional and flexible worship space, and also to incorporate sustainability in this design. These are the group members, and then which includes myself. Then this is a roadmap leading to all that we've done in the group. Now, this is the case study which I was talking about. The first one is the St. Paul Cathedral, which is located in London, designed by architect Christopher Wren, and it started in the late 1600s and ended in the early 1700s. It also uses the style of Baroque. What we learned from this case study is that we adopted the cruciform, which they use for their foundation, and also we adopted the extravagant altar design in this case study. Then the next one, we have the St. Charles Church, which is located in Vienna. So this was designed by architect John Hahn, one name, and some other people like that. The location is in Australia. It started in the early 1700s and ended in the mid-1700s. It's also a Baroque-styled architecture. Let's go to the climate analysis, the site analysis. Now, in this site analysis, what we did in this site analysis was that using the solar movement, we were able to orientate the building in such a way that we can get enough daylight to cast dramatic effect within the church, and also to know where the light is coming from. Then we also used it to provide adequate ventilation. Then the traffic, we used it to zone the building in quiet, public and semi-quiet zone, which we have the residential part of the building. You can see it in this slide. Now, our design consideration. Vertical symbolism, which is the height of the building. This means that cathedrals are usually very tall and big. Then historical significance, that's the Baroque style, which we talk about. It's in an ancient style, which was used in the late 16th century. And then the aesthetic appeal. That is where we try to use gold and white to finish our building, including the use of marble tiles and stained glass. Now, our form development, this form development is a cruciform, like I said, the Latin cross, which represents Christianity and its core belief. Then we now move to, this cruciform helps to create visual focus of those who are in the church to have a view of the altar without stressing themselves much. Then the cruciform, we try to bring it up to this level where we had a transept where we can have an extra space to keep the choristers and the ministers in the opposite sides of the church.
Our concept is presidential transgenders. Presidential transgenders. It is a Latin phrase. It's a Latin phrase which means a presence beyond or a transcendent presence. It refers to the aspiration to evoke a divine presence that rises above the material world. We incorporate this in our design by the use of dome, the use of stained glasses with pictures of saints, then the facade treatment. Okay, go to the next one. On our site plan, we have two entrances. The first gate and the second gate. We have a small fountain and then green areas around the fountain. Okay, on the floor plan, we enter the church, the main church building from the narthex to the nave. And inside the nave,
7, we were given a project to design the national headquarters of Cuda Bank. The project background. So Cuda Bank is a Nigerian digital bank that offers a range of banking services through mobile apps and through mobile transactions. It was established in 2017 and was originally called Cuda Money before it rebranded into Cuda Bank. Site analysis. So basically, our site was located in Enugu, 120 by 120 meters. The sun rises from the climatic analysis and noise analysis. We located where our building will be best located on the site. And this led us to our design challenges. From these design challenges, this is where we noticed what we have to solve, which led to our concept. So we had 4 design challenges: feasibility versus vision, what we want to achieve versus how feasible we can achieve it, engineering complexity. Due to the modernization of technology, there are a lot of new things we want to bring into architecture. So how flexible, how it can be, how structural it can be, and then the design for efficiency and compliance with accessibility standards.
So I'll be talking on the concept. When we are thinking of the design, so the major challenge we had during the design or concerning our research is security. So we came up with a padlock idea. So during our research, we observed that in banks, it does not used to be flexible. It used to be just maybe a tall building that has exterior glazing everywhere. So we used the symbol of the padlock because it represents security to form the shape of our building. So on the ground floor, you meet the reception, and then from reception you can access the other areas. We have 2 service staircases, in which one can actually serve as an existing escape route. Second floor. Okay.
Okay, feasibility versus vision. When we sat down to look at what we were supposed to design, we wanted to preserve we wanted to preserve Kuda Bank as a digital bank, that digitalization and modernization. So we said Cuda Bank is a bank that will have advanced architectural techniques. So we wanted to see how what is in our heads, the vision we have for what we want to produce, how feasible it can be. That is integrating both the technological part of Cuda Bank and then the structural part of architecture, if and whether it can be cost effective, that's budget friendly. So that
Sirs, my name is Ayin Chamaka. We are Group 8, and we are presenting an indoor sports complex for a university. This is our table of contents. The location for this design is set in the University of Nigeria Enugu Campus. Now, the design of an indoor sports center should create a place that is inclusive for everybody. So our aim was to create a comprehensive sports center that is both functional and aesthetic. Functional in the sense that it has an efficient layout, proper zoning, and incorporation of multipurpose spaces to reduce cost and maximize space. An aesthetic appeal using modern design, natural light, and bold colors. The requirements for this design are multipurpose courts, indoor tracks, dance studios, locker rooms, viewing areas, training rooms, and parking. The case study we used for this design is the indoor sports field of Shaozheng University in China. We noted how they zoned the spaces in the case study. And then if you look above, you see the way they made a multipurpose court, combining different sports like the football and the racetracks around it to minimize space consumption, which you see affected in our floor plan. This is the site for the design. On it, we performed the various site analysis, like the temperature analysis, the wind and sun path analysis, and we concluded that shading devices, overhangs, and passive design strategies like stack effects and reflective surfaces are necessary to avoid the sun's harsh glare in the design.
Good day, everyone. We encountered so many a specific problem, which was getting those variety of sports and merging them into the particular building. Because you have like a big football field, you have basketball, you have different variety of sports. Then bringing them into one like confined building was actually a problem. So we brought up this concept of symbolic form architecture, which what we used as our symbol was the Olympic rings. Olympic ring, which you know has like 5 rings. It has a center ring, then 2 rings at both sides. Then the Olympic rings, for example, now like the center ring, we decided now to use it as the place of circulation, the core of circulation and everything. Then the other rings, we use them for other spaces and where we can design and zone the building efficiently. On the site plan, since our design was an indoor sports complex, which means most of the activities and the sports have to be indoor. So there was not more things to design on the site. So we had to create parking space where the guests and students of the university can come in, park in, and also access the building. So it being a sports complex, we had to create like a creative site that is fun and also green areas where leisure activities can be taken on the site.
Then moving on to the floor plan, as we can see, we have the entrance at the two smaller rings. We have the entrance with the stairs and a ramp for easy accessibility with 3 doors for traffic flow leading into the circulation core, which is the lobby that helps circulation into the other parts of the building. Now, moving on to the bigger ring by the right. The bigger ring by the right contains the arena. It has a track, and around it is a basketball court with the bleachers where the guests watch the games. Then onto the other side of the building, on the bigger ring too, we have the training zone. So on the ground floor is the natatorium, which is a swim training room where we have the swimming pools and a larger swimming pool for leisure too. And on the first floor, we have the training room for the for basketball, volleyball, and tennis. And also on that floor, there is a mezzanine floor, a second level, a mezzanine floor where there are racetracks going around the perimeter with an open view to the first level on the center. Then on the elevations, we employed using curtain walls to maximize lighting, which is a major issue for huge complexes like this. This is the interior view of the ring by the left, which has the mezzanine floor. This is the mezzanine floor that has the racetracks that is looking through the first floor to the basketball court and the tennis court in the training area.